Hi, in this channel, I'll help you to get your level to upper intermediate and advanced level. In order to do this, we'll be discussing a wide range of topics, and those themes will be based on and associated with psychology, self-development, and money matters. I mean that we'll be learning new expressions and words in context and those engrossing podcasts. So, good luck.
12 lessons in life most people learn too late. To live without regret sounds like a simple quote. However, it is harder to accept in reality. In fact, there are many lessons in life most people learn too late. It does not mean that people are at fault at realizing it after it happened. It is more because the lessons are often learned only after a misfortune occurs. Here is the list of 12 lessons in life most people learn way too late in their lives. See if you relate to one or more of these points. 1. Not being present. The simple fact of living in the present is not as easy as it seems. Expectations and future goals often make people forget to enjoy the present. This happens a lot, especially to workers who spend more than half of their days working. Focusing on the task and believing that it will relieve misery in the future does not mean people can enjoy the present. Start being more aware of your surroundings. Appreciate every little thing around you and feel your breathing. Living in the present is really good for people to feel more content, more peaceful, and less driven. 2. Settle for less. Security is a good thing to secure for the future. However, finding security for the present is a good thing to secure for the future. However, finding security for the present is likely to result in regret. Settling for less applies to many fields, from choosing a life partner to choosing a career. The urge to settle for less occurs because people, especially in their mid-20s, are experiencing a crisis of goals and are balancing passion and social expectations. Most often, people choose the latter because they want to fit in, only to regret their decisions later in life. 3. Holding back decisions. There is a saying that it is better to try than never fully know the experience. Some people experience fear and anxiety, even to the level when these emotions cripple them. People are too afraid to take on an unfamiliar path or to try something new because they fear change. As a result, there are not any experiences gained, and we miss what could be a stepping stone that will take us to a better living situation. This is often one of the lessons in life people realize way too late. 4. Getting priorities right. More people will come into your life as you enter teenage years and adulthood. You start making friends and eventually become independent. The sense of freedom and knowing we have so many people around us may lead to wrong priorities. We often prioritize friends more than family because we have been with our family since we were born, and so their presence is taken for granted. People eventually realize that parents and siblings do not live forever. Once they have had their time, we only regret not spending much time with them. Make sure not to discover this lesson in life later than you should. 5. Staying in a toxic relationship. Most people stay in a toxic relationship for various reasons. They do not want to lose a certain part of their lives when they decide to let go of a toxic relationship, either with a spouse or a friend. Staying in a toxic relationship will only damage your mental health and lessen your chance to find happiness. If the person is not right for you, you may as well leave now while you still have a chance. 6. Caring too much about people's opinions. There are certain expectations built in society that expect each of us to turn into something that meets their standards. However, people are too unique and diverse. We cannot put all of them in the same box or the same category. Otherwise, not everyone will fit in the box. Sadly, so many of us care too much about other people's opinions, and instead of living our true selves, people wear masks. One of the lessons in life is that the facade is not worth the time. Since no matter what people do, others will judge you, so it's better to be true to yourself. 7. Chasing money instead of knowledge. Being materialistic in a world where capitalism rules makes some people give up on education and go on their way to earn money for a living. While this choice is sometimes unavoidable, people learn later that it is also important to pursue education and gain knowledge. Knowledge is essential to sustain life in the long term. While money does buy happiness, knowledge can help you manage your money to have even more happiness. Make sure you balance feeding your tummy and feeding your brain, because learning is timeless. 8. Not having enough faith in fate. This is the case with people who are experiencing the low side of life. In this phase, people often think that there is no way out to solve their problems. In extreme cases, some people choose a permanent solution over a temporary problem. The fate, however, always has its way of turning the chaos back into order. Some problems are eventually solved. You either change or learn one of the precious lessons in life after overcoming the storm.
And now what we're going to do is we're going to share our own opinions and express our own thoughts based on that topic. So the first one was about living in the present. People put off living in the present. They harness themselves so much. Being driven is good. Setting goals and priorities for that dim future is, it's good. But there are many people who spend more than half part of their day for work, and it's crucial for us to put our energy into other sides, to other aspects of our lives. So in this part, we are told to be content with the present. Content, it means to be satisfied with the present. The second part of the podcast is about settling for less. Many people avoid taking risks, and which leads to regret later in life. That's real. People mind about security, safety, and they prefer to stay in their comfort zone instead of taking risks. They prefer to just settle in less. In a relationship or their career choices, and they just don't believe in themselves and think a profession is worth for them just because they can't handle more bigger goals. So the third part is almost the same as the second part, because there was said that people just afraid of taking the whole unfamiliar path, and they regret way too late. They realize it way too late. It means when it becomes very late, way too late, or even we can say far late. So whenever they have to make serious decisions, their fear and anxiety cripples them. Cripples, it means paralyzes them. And once those fear and anxiety cripples, they just get unable to move forward, unable to take that path, which in the long term would be much more beneficial and would give them more profit in the future. I can't agree more with the notion that it's better to take risks than never knowing the risks and whatever the results, And I can't agree more. It means that I fully agree with the notion. I fully agree with the idea. So the fourth part is about people fail when it comes to setting priorities. When we get an adulthood, adolescent age, we feel that sense of freedom, as it was mentioned in the podcast, and we get to assume that our families as for granted, because we've been living with them since our childhood, and to take for granted, it means we accept it as something as mandatory, and we think that our family will last forever and will live forever with us, which leads to regret later in life as well. The fifth part is about staying in a toxic relationship. And it prevents you from your career path to get forward in your life. That person just might give you nothing but absorb your energy day by day, which leads to emotional breakdowns and depression, anxiety, and so on. And that's better. It's better quit. We are better off quitting that toxic relationship, in my concept. The next part is about caring other people's opinions. Yeah, all people say that they don't care others' opinions and they're just authentic selves, but it's not true in most cases. People are diverse, and we can't put all people in the same box. You know, they're different. Just they don't have to meet society's standards. The seventh part is also true. We are living in a world where capitalism rules, and it's just impossible to not to be materialistic, especially when there's conditions push us towards earning money rather than pursuing education for most adolescents. You know, the most important thing is knowledge. By working, we can get money, and by getting and receiving knowledge, we'll have the capacity of restoring that money, and we'll have a brighter chance of sustaining that life, happy and fulfilled life. The eighth part of that podcast is about it appeals to people who are going through hard times in their lives, and instead of making temporarily decisions, they make their decisions based on the conditions, and they speculate on their conditions will not be changed. In the spur of the moment, everything is possible.